Hey, welcome to Rusty Bow. Last week I shot a couple arrows several times into a slab back there that is no longer there, and in the course of it I lost one of the arrowheads. Well, since then we had 18 inches of snow, but I used my wily ways to find the arrowhead, and so it's now back on the arrow. The arrow that I made that same weekend, actually, and I took video of the process of that. So that's what we're going to watch today. One of these days I'm going to use pitch. But, nice. But I'll use super glue, or I'll use I'll use the beeswax for the threading. So the knot I'm going to use is just like the one you use for the serving thread when you do the bowstring. Oops. doing the same thing you do with the bowstring, is you wax up the thread. Cold day out today. It's like 14 outside in the shop. I haven't checked yet, but I know it's pretty cold. I got a little wood stove right next to me. I'm glad for it. A bit more. All right. Take a little leader here, put it about there. Really don't want too much. I tend to overdo it, so I'm going to try to not overdo it for this one. So, okay. So I'm going to start wrapping it. I don't want to get too far along before I pull the leader, but there. I'll take this leader and just gonna tug on it, try to. The advantage of having a leader is you have a little more to tug on, but I think this will be all right. Start winding. I'd like to get that leader just a little bit more. There, okay. Start and then resume the winding. Because we're going to do the exact opposite on the other end of this. Hopefully I've left myself enough string cover, but I'm pretty sure I have. Temperature in the shop away from the fire is 28 degrees. Near the fire, I really don't know. Outside the shop, it's 14. And it's going to get colder in the next couple days. Getting up on time to start the other. Let's just back that. Okay. Kind of just want to get cover past the notch. All right, and it's going to get covered by what I'm about to do here. Okay, see if I can. Feel like I'm doing this just a wee bit backwards from how I usually do it, but actually I don't think it really matters that much. Actually, this might be a little easier, feeding it through from the front rather than the back. So it's just creating another winding. A few of these. I don't know if there's a rule how many you should do, but when I'm doing the serving thread, I tend to do quite a bit more than I'm going to do here. I think I'll do one more here, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to run it back as a leader. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to wind it, continue winding it around, which at the same time is unwinding the stuff on the inside. You can see it's doing that now, and so when you get to about here, and you take that leader and you pull it through and give it a good tug, and then basically you're it's knotted from both sides without anything really hanging out except the original leader. Gonna cut that, pull that away, and I'm gonna take this and there we go. There. And then, for good measure, there's a couple things I could do here. I've got wax on the thread right now, and I could just wax that up. And I think that would probably be just fine. What I have done in the past is use super glue and do a coating of super glue. And sometimes, that works pretty good, but I think I'm going to start getting into using the wax more like I do with the string, and I think that'll be good enough. As long as I'm gluing the head in the notch itself, I think that's fine. This is just how I do it. I don't know how professionals do it, but professionals wouldn't use an oak dowel from Home Depot, but arrows are a bit more expensive these days than they used to be, and so I'm making my own shafts now. I like the bamboo ones that I used to buy, but you know, they're a bit pricey now. Well, the temperature in the shop has gone down to 27, and that is explainable probably by the fact that the temperature outside has gone down to 13. But I was just reminded by reaching for the feathers that I need to cut two more. So I'll cut two more fletchings. So let's see. Grab one that I. Okay, so I'm gonna want to cut. Well, first of all, I want to cut this. All right. Yeah, I just sharpened my stupid little patch knife that I made a while back, which was just supposed to be to test some steel, and it's got a couple notches in it where I was testing it by trying to cut through some nails, or cut through a nail. And it did cut through a nail in a different place, but it notched there. And I leave those notches there just to remind me to do things right. But at any rate, it turned out to be a pretty sharp, durable little knife, and so rather than just, you know, it was just supposed to be to test the steel, but it wound up turning into a little patch knife and served me pretty well. So I'm going to, let's see, I think, oh yeah, it's gonna, okay, I'll just, wow, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough for this. Well, actually I will, because I'll be trimming these down a bit more anyhow. So, I gotta be careful here, because I want to get right in that crease. But it's I'm only so-so at this. I know there's people that do this far better. But tricky part is when it gets down on this. I'm sure I should, how much I should do with a knife, but last time actually it stayed, oh, no, not that time. So, okay, so probably it's gonna go about that. The fleshing's gonna be about that long anyhow, so that's all right. I'll just trim it there. That. I tend not to make them too exact, although the last one I did turned out halfway decent. But we'll see how this goes after I get these trimmed up a bit, because I want a little bit of a leader on this, and I also I gotta sand these down just a wee bit. So, need something to wrap. Same thing with this. Okay. Okay, I put them on the sander a little bit and just thin them out. They're not perfect. Put them over by the heat. Try to take some of the curve out, but it's still not great. But the Fletcher will help a lot with that. So but I want to trim these up just a hair. So I can get the string around the back end. Oops. There we go. There we go. That little nip off of there. All right. And this one. All right. A little rough, but we'll get up on that better afterwards. There we go. All right. All right. Feed this through and quickly apply some glue. I use the gel stuff. Seems to work the best. Run a bead. Being careful, of course, not to get any on the clip. And I've got this in the position for the first one, so I think this is gently pull that off. All right. Yeah. want that to dry a little bit more. Well, we can, I think that's okay. Give this a turn. Actually, let's turn it smart and turn it this way. All right. Okay, same effing thing. So you may be wondering, and then again, you may not care at all, but why I'm doing this for a video and not doing something outside with archery or blacksmithing. But being it's such a cold day, and I had planned to maybe do some archery against the ice slab, but the ice slab is not finished, as you probably saw, not finished freezing. So it's got to go another probably day or two. Even at this cold, it's going to drop down. It's going to drop like a rock tonight, from what I understand. But it still has to. Cold still has to penetrate to the. There we go. To the inside, where there's under that ice. There's still some pockets of water, and so you know what? So just. There we go. I'm just going to run another bead. I did fix my stacks though, so there is that. But it is damn cold out. And I just didn't feel like blacksmithing today. I don't have anything I really want to. Well, there's things to make, frankly. I still have to make more hooks for my wife's tools in her garden shed. Got all winter to do that. But it's not what I wanted to do today. So kind of try to spread those out a bit so I don't bore everybody, including myself. Okay. Last one. Yeah, I could be doing this inside the house where it's warm, and frankly the glue would set up faster and all that, but I like being out here. I like being outside better, but yeah, it's like 13 degrees outside, and I'm an old man now, so I don't know. It's like I gotta have something really good to do outside to do it in this cold. And I have done archery in colder than this. I just don't have it in me to do it today. Unless I had that ice sheet up. If that ice sheet had set up, I would be out there. Okay. So we'll let that. All right, I think we'll pull this off or start. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So. All right. It's not perfect, but it's okay. And I'm going to refine these ends a little bit, file them down once all the glue is perfectly set, because it's not yet. I want to get those kind of filed down closer to the shaft, and same back here before I start threading. And another thing I want to do is just take the edges off the notch. I'm not looking to stress the string at all. That ought to do it. I'm just going to clean these up a bit. And we'll thread them up. That would be the plow. Wax this up. Beeswax again. We're going to be running the string. There you go. And up here. Yeah, wind. Wind's something. Yeah, so again, gotta put a little beeswax on the string. Because we're not gluing the string, we're just beeswaxing it. Beeswax this too, some more, just okay. All right, so let's do this part first. All right, so again, I'm going to put a leader out. This is going to be a short one. I probably got way too much string for this, but that's okay. Better too much than too little. All right, so I'm going to wind it around. I don't know how neat this is going to be honest, but I'll wind it around and then pull this. I'm going to pull this tight. It's actually pulling tight over here on this side. So pull them loose. Well, sort of. Yeah. Probably could add a little more winding on there, but that's okay. It's weird. It is weird doing this on a oak shaft because it's so much neater and easier on a bowstring. All right, then, there's my patch knife. Bear with me. Dropped it. I drop a lot of things. If you watch my blacksmithing videos, you'll know I drop a lot of things. All right, so I'm just gonna cut that, pull that loose. Okay, and then wind it around some more. Just basically gonna, hold on. Let's do this. Let's do it the easy way. Keep an eye on how much string I have here. So I have to leave enough for the other side, the knot. This gets weird too on this end. I think I'm going to do it here because, again, it's yeah, I'm going to be feeding this from the back, so it's going to be a little odd, but. Come on. See, my fumbly fat old fingers here. All right. But doing a loop, and then if I do this right, running it through. There you go. And then again. Well, it's not as neat as it should be. But it won't matter too much as long as it works. There we go, that's better. Best to get it lined up. What are we doing here? There we go. Don't. See, when you're doing this on a bowstring, you don't have this problem of it slipping off the end or anything. There is no end to slip off from. All right. Yeah. All right. So then we're going to pull this over as the leader and start winding this as we're unwinding the end. And then once we get there, then we'll pull the leader, kind of put my finger in there to keep it from wandering, and just go tight with it. There. And we can just cut that. Voila. Yeah, it could have been neater, but that's okay. You know, and we'll take some beeswax and just go over it. Hold it, you know, things in place better. Just like you do with a serving thread. That'll do. That'll hold it. All right. So we're going to take, let's get rid of that. So we got one more string to do. And I need to wax this up. This end first, so I can turn it around and do the rest of it. Just pull it through. All right, there we go. String waxed up. Wow, look at that. I got messed up a little bit. Well, we'll clean that up, maybe. Okay, so again, we're gonna put a leader out. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go this end. I think I'm gonna put a leader out. I'm gonna do a little extra long one just so I can pull it easier. I think I got plenty. And gonna run that out and then just do a couple windings on here. Maybe a little more than just a couple. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I think now I can just start some serious windings here. One more, well, a couple more here. I keep lying. I lie. A couple more, one more, a couple more. Okay, so I get up past the leader there, and I'm going to put my finger on, my thumb on this one, my finger on that one, just to keep it from wandering. And I'm going to wind it a little bit, but that pulled it tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give that a little cut now so that it's not in the way. And then I'm going to resume winding. I want to just neaten that up a little bit. Okay. All right. And again, I'm not like by any means an expert at this. This is just how I do it. I don't know how professional fletchers do theirs, but and trust me, if I can do this, you can do it better. Just want to tighten that one up a bit. Okay. All right, so then what I'm going to do, I'm going to start working on the end of this knot. Doesn't have to be too much for something like this, for a fletching. But, okay. So again, I looped it over my finger and run it through the loop. See, it slipped off my finger. But that's okay. We got it. So you see what I'm doing here. I'm dropping, I don't know if it was clear enough in the other ones, but I'm running this through on the inside. When my big fat fingers will let me. Okay. There we go. Usually I can just like, with a serving thread, I can just like quickly do something like that. Just a two-fingered, finger and thumb, just run it through, run it through, run it through. Again, it's kind of weird doing it on something as big around as well, basically a dowel, the shaft. But I'm kind of getting it back. All right, so one more, just because. And yeah, so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn this into the leader, okay? And I'm going to start winding the one side while the back end unwinds. See? And this is a great knot. Don't know what it's called. Maybe one of you wise lads do. Then when you pull it, when you get to the end of it, you take that leader and you just pull it through. Tighten the crap out of it. Yeah, there you go. One more. There you go. And then I can just nip it. Boom. And it's tight both ends. That's the great thing. It's like a hidden knot almost. It's tight both ends. You just go through afterwards with a beeswax. And there it is. And my fletchings look like shit now. Pardon my French here, but I'm going to try to get them back in order. But I think they caught some of that glue. Yeah. Well, they'll fly okay. For the range I'm doing 35 yards, they'll fly just fine. The fletchings look like shit though. They shouldn't look like that. I've really mucked them up a bit. But you must admit they are fletchings. It did not go through. That's how thick the ice is. I'm using a 90-pound bow here. Didn't break the arrow, but it didn't go through the ice. Let's see what this does. Oh yeah. That was sweet. Oh my God. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. I don't do the pseudo instructional videos very often, but it was kind of a fun one. And I got to use a knot that I only really use when I'm making bowstrings, and I haven't made one of those in a while. Got to actually make a few because mine are getting a little tired. But at any rate, hope you enjoyed that, and hope you are staying warm because it's like 4 degrees right now, and maybe you're warmer than me. So, all right. Hope you had a good week. See you on the other side of this one. You stay well. Be good.